Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time seeing me. Today we're doing something a little bit different and we're going to be cooking dinner, so come cook dinner with me. Today we are making something I've made 2 other times before and it's been amazing both times. So let's make some French onion pasta. So instead of French onion soup, you add some pasta in it, and it's like French onion soup in a pasta form. It's really yummy, and I'll show you how we make it. I'm not going off a recipe today because, like I said, I've made it 2 other times, so I feel fairly confident in my ability to execute this. I just realized, Amanda, we don't have Parmesan cheese. We're going on a little adventure. They don't have Parmesan. Parmesan has been acquired. So, like I was saying, we're making French onion pasta. So I'm going to start by slicing some onions. You need 2 onions. When I slice the onions, there's like 2 sides to an onion. There's the root side, and then there's this side. I think this is the stem. I don't remember. But you want to cut not the root side. So the side with like the extra looking skin. That's what you want to cut. And I peel off the outside layers. Put it like flat side down and slice like this. And I do that on either side of the root. And then to deal with the root, I just lay it flat and cut around it. And then I toss the center stuff because, again, I don't know how to use it. My eyes are starting to water. Or turn on your burner so your pan starts getting hot. Add in your 2 tablespoons of butter and let that start melting in the pot. We got our onions and I'm going to add them to the pan. Break apart some of the layers of the onions. Let me show you what I mean. So just breaking things apart so that everything will cook evenly. I'm gonna start turning my pan down low because we're caramelizing the onion. To caramelize an onion, you have to cook it low and slow. So this process does kind of take a bit of time, but it's so worth it, I promise. Alright, so now it's kind of tedious because you have to stir them like every 5 minutes for like up to 40 minutes or so. I usually do around between 30 and 40. I set myself a timer for 30 minutes and then I'll just check it every 5 minutes. Stir them around a little bit, make sure things are going okay and nothing's getting burnt. But in the meantime, I thought I would catch you up on my week. I almost had my first sponsored YouTube video. I got an email from a guy saying that he saw my try-on haul and asked if I'd be willing to do it for his friend's swimsuit company. And you know, I'm going to Miami next month. I was thinking I could really use a new swimsuit, so I'm like, okay, if I could get a free swimsuit in return for posting about it on my YouTube, I'm already going to be posting anyways. I need a swimsuit. Let's see where this goes. So I replied and asked if I could see the swimsuit company, and his response really made me realize it was a scam, so did not end up responding to him any further, so no sponsored post. And I think his name's David, so David, if you're seeing this, you come off like a scammer. So maybe you should change your approach if that's not what you're intending to do. Also this week, Amanda got her note cited by a Pennsylvania Supreme Court. So essentially, in layman's terms, and I'm not trying to minimize it, I'm just trying to explain it in an easy way. Last year, Amanda wrote a really long paper called a note. It's like a research paper. She made an argument. It's kind of like a thesis, if that's more digestible. So a really long piece of writing. And it got published. There's a few different journals. Hers got published in one of the journals that she's part of, which is amazing already because now you can search up her name and she's literally a published author. It's in a book. It's really cool. Super proud of her for that. But even more exciting was this week we found out that the Pennsylvania Supreme Court actually cited her note in a court case that just happened this week. When a decision is made on a court case, majority of the justices agreed this was the decision to make on this case, and one judge or justice writes the majority opinion. Other justices who agreed with that person can choose to write what's called a concurrence, and then people who didn't agree with that opinion can write something called a dissent. So, and the justice that cited Amanda was writing in the concurrence, which means that he used Amanda's paper as a positive argument towards this case, which is really amazing. Amanda's note is about abortion, basically just trying to protect abortion rights and how, you know, women should be able to do what we want with our bodies. I'm not the most knowledgeable on this topic. I know a lot, but there's a few details that Amanda just knows better, so she's going to explain those to you. The experts here while I munch on some parm.
It's a quite complicated case. Say it in the most simple terms. There was a law from the 80s, I think 82, that basically restricted how much Medicaid funding could go to providing abortions in the state. Providers of abortions want to sue, to overturn that law. The lower court said, no, you can't sue. It got appealed to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court basically said, yes, you can, you do have the right to sue under this. So they're sending it back to the lower court. Now the lower court is forced to let the lawsuit play out. They could still decide no against the abortion providers, but then it's inevitably going to be appealed to the Supreme Court, which we see how they're going to stand on it. So basically, this doesn't change anything about abortion currently in the state of Pennsylvania, but it opens the door for this law to be challenged and eventually, hopefully, overturned or amended in some capacity.
Cool. But you got cited.
Yes.
And we're so proud of you.
Yes.
Urban Law
Yes,
Journal.
this is the journal.
Good job, Iki.
Thank you.
It's been about 15 minutes, and this is what they're looking like. So I kind of feel like this batch is going to take around 40 minutes because there's a lot in there. Things are caramelizing up nicely. Also, I think you're supposed to add the salt at the beginning to help with the process because the salt helps the onion juices come out. But I forgot to do that, so I just added the salt. But I never said I was a chef, so do it when you want. We're at the point where the onions are looking great. It's been around 35 minutes. So I'm going to move on to the next step, which is adding the vegetable stock. Usually people will use a line or something to deglaze the bottom of the pan, which is just getting all of the caramelized bits off the bottom. And a lot of people use alcohol for that, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to use some of my own veggie stock or veggie broth. So like I said, just going to do a little bit of this directly into here and then I'll measure the rest out. This is just to deglaze. Okay, so I put just a bit in the pot and then I'm going to measure the rest out. 2 cups of broth and 1 cup of water. I'm going to turn the heat up to high to get that water to a boil, and then I'll add in my pasta. Water is boiling, as you can tell, so let's add our pasta. I like to use the orecchiette. I have used the rigatoni, but I think this is better. As always with pasta, just measure with your heart. I used about this much of the container. So I set a timer for 10 minutes to check in on it. I may need to add more liquid. I think I had to do that last time, but I'll check on it and see where we're at. The pasta's been cooking for about, let's see, 9 minutes. It definitely has more to go. I already added like half a cup more of water because as you can see, the liquid's really cooked out. So may need to add some more just to get all of the noodles fully cooked. But it's looking great. It's almost ready. It's time. This is how it's looking now. It looks amazing, but we're gonna make it even better by just adding some milk. Just a little splashy splash. And the Parmesan cheese. We'll add more later. Yummy. So good.
Delicious.
Okay, Amanda is the taste tester. It's really hot.
It's so good.
Good.
It's just like the soup.
It's just like, the,
Just like
soup.
the soup.
But better because it has pasta.
Better.
How could it even get better? It's so good, you guys. So I'll try to put the recipe in the description. But again, I went off vibes. Dinner was a hit. So good. I hope you try this recipe. It's really yummy. And thank you for watching. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and leave a comment.